children of the one Yahweh. Ye are the chosen of the one Yahweh. And he has given this law to us.
To know about him going into bondage in Deuteronomy, he wants to hear about it.
What's going on, brother? Come over here, man. I like that staff too.
Thank you.
What's going on, brother?
I'd like to know where in the Bible it says that, we shall be taken away in ships and never be seen our homeland again.
Oh yeah, we don't get that real quick. Give me that in Deuteronomy 28. You believe in the Bible, OG? That's great. You from the States or where you from?
Birmingham.
What's that?
Birmingham.
Alabama? Okay, great. Let's read about the curse of the Bible. This is how we know we're the people of the Bible, the Israelites. The blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy.
Give me 45 and 46 first.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 45 and 46. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed.
Till we be destroyed, talking about the children of Israel. Go ahead.
Because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee.
Read.
And they shall be upon thee for a sign.
The curses that come upon the Israelites are going to be upon you for a sign. Go ahead.
And for a wonder.
And for a wonder. Go ahead.
And upon thy seed forever.
So God said there's going to be curses put on the children of Israel forever. So this is written, what, about 3,500 years ago, 4,000 years ago, Moses giving it to the children of Israel. Let's read one of the main curses that identify who the Israelites are. Go ahead.
Verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
The Most High said the Israelites going to be putting on boats again, with put back into slavery. Give me Exodus 22.
Our homeland to here.
I'm sorry?
Is that when they brought us from Africa to here?
Well, technically, you can say we're Africans because Israel is in Africa, but we're from Israel. We got
Israelites.
We're Israelites, exactly. You can, I mean, we're not just black because he's an Israelite as well. The Hispanics and the Native Indians are all Israelites. We all got ran out of our homeland due to being conquered, being wicked, because the Most High allowed it to happen. Okay. And we were in slavery, obviously, right? Yeah. And it says, it's going to get deep. Give me that in Exodus 20 and 2. Go ahead.
Exodus 20 and 2.
Read.
I am the Most High, your power, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt.
Out of the land of Egypt, which is what?
Out of the house of bondage.
So Egypt is synonymous with bondage according to the Israelites' narrative. So read that from the top.
Verse 68. Well, actually Deuteronomy 28 and 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
So Egypt is synonymous with bondage. We're going to go into bondage again with ships, but it's going to get real specific. Read.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
So it's talking about Egypt again, the land of Egypt, because we just brought out of Egypt with Moses at this time. Go ahead.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
What is that? Read that again.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
So when we get off them boats, we're going to be sold to our enemies. Who's our enemy according to that? Who do we get sold to when we get off the boats? White people. You believe white people are your enemy right now?
That's right.
You don't believe that? Yeah. Okay. All praise to the Most High, brother. Go ahead.
For bondmen and bondwomen.
So our enemies are going to roll over in slavery, and we're going to be their slaves for a certain amount of time. Go ahead.
And no man shall buy you. So
no man's going to buy us, meaning nobody's going to redeem us. Martin Luther King, Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X. None of those people were ordained by God to be quote-unquote saviors to us. And if you believe in the Bible, you know who the Savior is going to be. Who the world calls Jesus Christ, the Messiah. Give me Jeremiah 23.
I don't believe in Martin in there because, see, they had a lot of backdoor deals where they dealt with our
Exactly. They had to deal with the Rothschilds. I don't know about Malcolm X, but I know Martin Luther King had the Rothschilds writing his speeches and whatnot.
Right. Even brother Jesse Jackson.
Oh yeah, Jesse Jackson. Everybody knows Jesse Jackson. Yeah, he's a real sellout. He worked for the FBI. He was informed for the FBI. That came out, I think, last year. And he's the one that actually set up Martin Luther King on that balcony.
Yeah.
If you look at it,
he was there a day or two before it happened.
Exactly. He set it up. He set it all up. He was like, "Hey, Martin Luther King." This is what he said. Basically, everybody had to wear ties. If you wear a tie, that means you were a target. This you didn't wear a tie. Jesse Jackson.
He's what I call.
Exactly. That's what they did. I'm sorry.
He's a good house nigga.
Oh yeah, he's a house Negro. Yeah, of course.
Right. He's, as they say, he's a good dude. He told me.
And Jesse Jackson was a real coon, man.
Right.
But I'm gonna tell you this. That's what happened. When they said basically they switched Martin Luther King's room, still on the bottom floor at the time. They changed it to upstairs. They said, "Oh, wear this tie." Jesse Jackson put on a tie. He made sure not to have a tie on because he knew that the sniper was on the roof. Whoever got a tie on gets hit. That's what happened. And quite as kept, Martin Luther King didn't even die from the gunshot.
Right.
He died in the hospital. They smothered him with a pillow on the hospital bed. That's what happened. That's how wicked the government
Jesse
is.
would have been exposed.
Exactly. I mean, he exposed himself. I think another person exposed him, actually. I forgot who it was. Another brother gave a speech, and he accidentally said he was telling him what happened on the balcony with Martin. And he's like, yeah, basically somebody moved out the way so the shot can be clear. Like, who says that? Unless he already knew what was going on. Like, that's ridiculous. But the bottom line is, brother, you're an Israelite. You have a duty and basically something you have to do for the Most High. I don't know how old you are, but you still have a chance to be redeemed out of this place. What's that?
66.
66? Man, you an elder, man. Give me Deuteronomy 10 and 12. What you got?
You wanted 33. I'll go to Deuteronomy.
What's 33?
Read them all.
You said Jeremiah 33. I'm pretty sure you're talking about the Redeemer.
No, I asked
Read it all,
for
'cause
Jeremiah
when I get
23.
knowledge,
23 and 5.
knowledge, I know all this shit.
Yeah, we're going to read it all for you, elder. Give me Deuteronomy 10 and 12. Real quick.
You don't got
Go
to
ahead.
rush. I got time.
Do you know
Sorry?
Deuteronomy?
Excuse me. You don't have to rush. I got time.
Oh, man, it's all praises, brother. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy 10 and 12. And now, Israel, what does the Most High Power, what does the Lord thy God require of thee?
Read.
But to fear the Lord thy God,
You got to fear God. Read.
to walk in all his ways,
Read.
and to love him,
Uh-huh.
and to serve the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul.
Go ahead.
To keep the commandments of the Lord.
Exactly. That's how you love God, keeping his commandments. You go to the Christian church, they tell you Christ done away with the law, but that's not true because Christ kept the law perfectly.
Right.
And then give me 1 Peter again. 2 and 21. Read. To keep the commandments.
Yeah, come. And his statutes,
Uh-huh.
which I command thee this day for thy good.
For thy good. So the commandments are for our good. Give me 1 Timothy 1 and 9 as well. 2 and 21. You know what I want? Yeah, go ahead.
For God so loved.
First Peter
We're going to
chapter
get that in a second.
1 Peter chapter 2 verse 21. For even hereunto were ye called, because Christ also suffered for us,
Christ suffered for us, read.
leaving us an example that ye should follow his steps.
We're supposed to follow Christ's steps. So if Christ kept the law perfectly and was a sinless vessel, we're supposed to be sinless as well, right? That makes sense? Go ahead.
Verse 22. Who did no sin,
Who did no sin. Christ didn't sin. So that's what we're supposed to be. Not sinners. Read.
So we all fall short.
neither was guile found in his mouth.
Exactly. So we're supposed to be sinless vessels, righteous before the Most High. That's why we want to go to church, because the church doesn't read these verses. They read, oh, God loves everybody, and all you got to do is have faith, which is not true. It's part of it, but the main focus of the Israelites and our heritage is keeping the laws of God. Give me that in 1 John as well. Go ahead.
1 Timothy 1 and 9, knowing this, that the law is not made for a righteous man.
The law is not made for righteous people. So if you're already righteous, it means you're already keeping the law. Read.
But for the lawless
Read.
and disobedient,
So if you're not keeping the law, you're lawless and you're disobedient to God. Read.
for the ungodly and the sinners,
For the ungodly and the sinner. So if you're not keeping the law, the Bible says you're ungodly and you're a sinner. Go ahead.
for unholy and profane,
Uh-huh.
for murderers of fathers
Read.
and murderers of mothers,
Uh-huh.
for manslayers,
Exactly.
for whoremongers,
Read.
for them that defile themselves with mankind,
Uh-huh.
for men stealers,
Read.
for liars,
Uh-huh.
for perjured persons.
Read.
And if there be any other thing that is contrary to sound doctrine,
Exactly. Whatever is going against the Bible and the wisdom of the Bible is contrary to sound doctrine. And if you're not keeping the law, you're already in that pit. And what do sinners get? Don't sinners supposedly, quote unquote, go to
Go to
hell?
hell.
We don't necessarily agree with that because we don't believe there's actual.
Are we in hell right here?
You're absolutely right. Living in hell, in the ghettos and slums of the earth.
Right.
Whether you're North, Central, South America, that's a great point you're making. And it's to the spirit you said that. Because we're in conditions of hell right now.
Right.
Not affording paycheck to paycheck, all that stuff is in the Bible. Give me that. What you got? Yeah, give me that Baruch 3 and 8. You had a question or a comment?
Well, yeah, my father was a minister.
Your father's a minister? What has he taught you?
Fear the Lord.
Fear the Lord?
Walk in his steps. We all fall short.
True, we do fall short. I agree with that. But what does it mean to fear the Lord, though?
To be able to understand, and when you fall short, pray. You know, and you fear that it's not fear like you're scared. Fear from
I would be
knowledge
scared of the Most
and
High.
reading, and
I would
not
definitely be scared
study.
of the Creator.
You know, and understand that, you know, we all fall short.
I agree.
You know, and so my fear is that if I was to die today, could I be convicted of being a righteous man?
I mean, are you a sinner?
Yes.
Well, we just read that you can't be a sinner, though.
I know. Start changing my ways.
Absolutely.
Right.
You got to keep the laws of God, brother. Because we just read, if you're lawless, you're ungodly and you're a sinner. You have to keep the law.
You reap the wrath.
Exactly. So you're 66 years old. You're hearing this word. You have an opportunity to repent. That's a true meaning of repent. Turn from sin. Don't be a sinner. Don't be an active sinner like the Christian teaches you to do.
Right.
Because Christ isn't going to get on the cross again for you to die for your sins again.
See, what I've learned is that in all this time, I always try to put my mind in gear before I put my mouth in gear.
That's where it starts. That's exactly where it starts. Because sin starts in the mind as well.
Right.
But that's what we got to get away from. And the Christian ideology isn't going to get you any closer to God or salvation. What you got?
Excuse me again. How often do you come here?
Every Saturday.
Okay, I got to eat going here, but what I'm going to do is, my name is Carl.
Ayash.
I'm going to come to you with a bunch of questions. I'm going to go sit down.
Man. Go write questions down, come back every Saturday.
The thing with me is, if this is what you want to do, I'm going to put you to the test.
Hey,
I'm going
all praises, brother. All praises.
I'm going to put the questions in.
I believe it, brother. We have no problem with answering your questions, brother. You're our brother, you're our elder, and we want you to repent and truly seek God with your heart, man.
All right.
See, no matter how old I get or whatever, I can always learn.
I agree.
All praise.
Give me that in Hebrews 5. I'm gonna read one more. I'm gonna read two more to you, actually.
Yeah, John.
Hebrews 5 and 12.
Hebrews.
Let me see. Yeah, go ahead.
Hebrews chapter 5, verse 12. For when for the time ye ought to be teachers,
Read.
ye have need that one teach you again.
So you have need that one teaches you again at your old elder state. Read.
Which be the first principles of the oracles of God.
The first principle of the oracles of God. The oracles are the laws and statutes and commandments. Go ahead.
And are become such as have need of milk
Uh-huh.
and not of strong meat.
That milk is what? The basics, the beginning. That's what babies feed off of, right? Milk. Exactly. That's the simple things, the small things. Take baby steps towards that. To build a solid foundation. What's that?
See, my thing is, it's not the big things in life that get you. It's the small things.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
See, I'm walking across the street, and I see the car coming, but see, I forgot to look out for that little small piece of glass.
Exactly. It might
Right.
trip you up and keep you in that street too long.
See, and that's the same way with life.
Absolutely, brother. I agree. I agree that 100%.
After I was Route 66.
I'm sorry?
I rode by Route 66.
What's that mean?
29 and 37.
What's that?
29 in the Old Testament, 37 in the New.
Well, that's another thing. We actually believe in the Bible, like parts of the Bible they took out, called the Apocrypha. You ever heard that before? There's 14 books in the Apocrypha, so there's actually 80 books that we have scrolls and ancient manuscripts for.
Laws.
I mean, not necessarily the laws, but just different stories and different things that tell the history of what happened to the Israelites and different prophecies as well.
I'd like to see that myself. I've always been interested.
Give me that Apocrypha on my bed.
I've never seen
my
it.
bag. My bag. I'm gonna show it to you real quick. Oh, it's right here, right here. This is it. The Apocrypha. Where's the 1611? You can go to any bookstore. You should have it in a bookstore. Yeah. If if you have a 1611 Bible, because that was the first King James, 1611, it has the Apocrypha in the middle. So that's where it comes in. But for the most part, you get a little bit more understanding of what happens in the New Testament based off certain books in the Apocrypha.
Some things
The
they don't
Gentiles
want
and all
you
that.
to.
I'm
Some
sorry?
things they don't want you to know.
Exactly. That's why he took it out.
So that's why I want to see.
That's why the Apocrypha literally means hidden books, pretty much.
That's what I want to see.
Yeah, man. So like I said, every Saturday we'll be out here. What did you just read them?
Hebrews 5 and 12.
Give me 1 John real quick.
5 and
3 and 4.
The God so loved the world, he loved us.
So give me, is it 2 or 4? Yeah, give me 5 and 3. Go ahead.
3. It's the book of 1 John, chapter 5, verse 3. For this is the love of God,
This is the love of God. What else?
that we keep his commandments.
Now we do what?
That we keep his commandments,
So if you love God, you keep his commandments.
right,
Go ahead.
and his commandments are not grievous.
The commandments aren't grievous. They're simple commandments like what? Not eating pork. Our people have a serious issue with eating pork. It's a delicacy to us. Eating shrimp, crab, and lobster. We do that all the time. Hey,
Right.
and all praise, but that's an abomination to God.
No, they're not that clean.
Exactly.
Right.
Catfish.
He's in the spirit, man. He knows what's going on. They're bottom feeders, right? They're supposed to clean the ocean. Clams and mussels and all that stuff.
They also
That's
gave
garbage,
it,
man.
They gave it to us after they had the best parts for themselves.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
But
They have
now-
the space scraps and all that stuff.
But now, they pay through the nose to buy it.
Exactly. $30 a
Like
pound.
the chitlins and things, you know.
Oh, chitlins? Oh,
Catfish.
yeah. I never ate chitlins ever.
Right.
Oh, man.
That's pig intestines. They
see.
over here getting out of a damn.
I believe that when you go to hamburger place and things, how can you say you're eating food that is pure or whatever when they cook pork on the same grill as they cook
Right.
You're absolutely right. Give me that in Leviticus 11. It says in the spirit. He knows a little bit. Your father taught you a little bit about the truth. I understand that. You just gotta round it out.
You
You know,
kill your meat with their face.
facts. Pork is an abomination.
Right.
You're not supposed to. You're not supposed
Didn't
to
they
touch
split hoof?
pork. I'm sorry.
And they split up.
But yeah, you know what's going on.
Right.
You know what's going on, man.
I don't know
You
anything.
done read the Bible, man.
I don't know anything. I'm always willing to listen. I'm a vessel that wants to, you know.
That's powerful, brother. That's definitely powerful. Give me that.
Leviticus 11 and 7. And the swine, though he divide the hoof,
The way to divide the hoof, so it looks like a clean animal. Read.
and be cloven footed,
Read.
yet he cheweth not the cud.
He doesn't digest food properly. That's the difference. He's not a cow or a horse. Not necessarily a horse, but a cow or what's another animal that chews the cud? Like a lamb. Yeah, a lamb. They chew the cud. They digest it properly. Read.
He is unclean to you.
He's unclean. Read.
Of their flesh ye shall not eat,
Uh-huh.
and their carcass shall ye not touch.
Yeah, you can't touch it or eat it. So if it's a live pig, honestly, it's not a problem to pet it or whatnot, feed it. It's not a problem. But when you kill it, you can't touch the carcass, you can't eat it. But guess what? We eat all types of bacon, pepperoni, salami. What else? What else is pork? Ham. It's all madness, man. Especially on these forbidden holidays, man. Go ahead.
They are unclean to you.
Read. Give me about the shrimp. Go ahead.
These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters, whatsoever have fins and scales.
So wherever has fins and scales, we can eat. What doesn't have fins and scales that we eat? Catfish doesn't have fins and scales.
Carp.
What's that?
Carp.
Yeah, carp. Does that have fins and scales? I never ate that before. Catfish, quiet as kept, certain tuna doesn't have fins and scales. Can't eat tuna. Read.
Whatsoever hath fins and scales in the waters and the seas and the rivers, them ye shall eat.
Go ahead.
And all that have not fins and scales in the seas and in the rivers,
Read.
and of all that move in the waters, if any living thing which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination unto you.
It's an abomination. Shrimp, crab, lobster, calamari, snail, all that. Exactly. All that stuff is madness, man. Catfish is garbage. If it doesn't have fins and scales, stay away from it. Thus saith the Most High, man. It's an abomination.
A pig can take a hit from a rattlesnake and he'll die.
Exactly. Nothing
The
can kill a
veins- the
pig.
veins
Nothing can
roll.
kill a pig except you cut his head off. Exactly. Nothing can kill a pig. You can't poison it. You can eat it. All type of dead
Pig gonna
bodies.
eat you.
All that exactly. If you starve a pig long enough, that's what the moms used to do. They had pig farms, starve them for like a week or two, kill dead bodies, put all the dead bodies in it. Pig eat it all up, nothing but bones.
Everything.
Exactly. That's how you got rid of bodies in the ancient part of the early hundreds,
You see that in
1900s.
Hannibal Lecter.
I'm sorry.
Hannibal
Oh
Lecter.
yeah, exactly. Silence of the Lambs. Yeah, exactly. That's a good point. That's a good point. You got something?
That's what that saying it says, never trust a man with a hog.
That's great. I ain't heard that. Never trust a man with a hog. That's a
listen,
smart thing,
man.
though.
And one thing I do is I have respect. When two are talking, you should not hear.
Absolutely. Give me that Ecclesiastes 5 and 11. Who? Amalek? Are you guys Jewish? Excuse me. Excuse me over there.
They will not talk to you.
Excuse me. White people, are you guys Jewish?
Yeah, they won't say nothing.
Four Eyes, are you guys Jewish?
All right, y'all.
All right, brother.
All right, Elder.
He's saying, I'm busy
Anyways,
right now. Yeah,
I'm
he
done
said
with
He
you.
don't want to hear the truth.
Atah lo Yehudi.
That's
Atah Mamzir. You know what that means? Lo Yehudi. You know what that means? Adumi Kaleh. Damn devils.
That's right.
Anyways. What's that?
You know, maybe I'm wrong with it, but Muslim faith said that white people don't experience the God way. You know about the rhesus gene?
Yeah, the RH Research gene. Yeah, I know what that is. Kind of like the monkey gene, all that. Yeah, I know what you're talking
Don't
about.
have it.
Go ahead.
Hey, but the only reason why they called it that is because when they when they ran certain tests, it reacted to the rhesus monkey. That doesn't mean that they descended from the rhesus monkey. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when scientists, when they were running certain tests, they will use rhesus monkeys. So people get that convoluted, saying that the white people have rhesus monkeys genes. That's not true.
There are similarities.
That's not the truth. It's just that when they ran tests, they ran it on the rhesus monkeys. That's all. That's the only reason why they called it a rhesus, the RH positive, RH negative, because it reacted positively to the rhesus monkey or it reacted negatively. That's it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
See, I had that.
Not a problem, man. We can hear the answer all
Thank
questions,
you.
man. We know a little
clear.
bit about a lot, man. That's how it comes. That's all.
Clear.
Give me, did you read all Start 28?
Good gentlemen. Good nice talking to you.
All right, man. Shalom, brother. That means peace be unto you.
What time is that?
3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. All right, brother.
All right, brother.
It's a slice.
Shalom.
Exactly.
All praise.
A small piece of the pie, Elden. Shalom, man.